Good morning. The prompt for today is ET. So, first, there's a little construction happening here. The graphic plastics that I used is super thick. I don't know if there's other thicknesses, but it's having a really hard time conforming to the rules of the notebook. I thought I could make it conform, but it's just not willing to. So I reconstructed a couple things here. I was going to try to just glue it down to that paper, but that's not working either. So I ended up, this is where I tried to glue it, but the paper's, it's just a mess. So I pulled it off, and then I took the graphic plastics and I cut it away from the dungeon spread that's on the tissue paper there, and I treated it as a tip-in. In hindsight, I think I would have checked out to see if there were other thicknesses of graphic plastic, or maybe, okay, that's what I should have done. Now that I see all this, I regret doing what I did. I might take it apart again, because I should have it as a tip-in from the outer edge, not the spine, the outer edge. I think the outer edge would be fine, and it wouldn't be hampered by the lumpy left that's happening on the spine. I'm going to go back in and change all that. So disregard everything you see here, because it'll be different tomorrow. Ignore his new name is Ruler. Ignore Ruler barking, because he rules this house. So I'm putting the nails, my massive therapy session, on the back of this page, which will stay, but I think I'll lift it up and put the hinge of the graphic plastics underneath the yellow nails paper, and then go from there. I did all of this construction, reconstruction, and construction of my prompt base layer early this morning, and then I sat there, I let it sit there and dry. I don't know what the dog is barking at. I'm so sorry. He's barking at lots of things because we're replacing an ice machine that wasn't supposed to be here till next week. It came yesterday. The ice machine here is broken, and we do love, and it does come in handy, a ice machine. We have one at home. When you're around so much water, it just is a whole lot better to have a huge thermos, a huge under-the-counter ice machine than it is to have an ice, there's ice in the door on the refrigerator here, but still, you can't fill up a cooler. You can from an ice machine under the counter. Anyhow, so my husband ordered another one, and it wasn't supposed to be here till the 30th, and he had it set up with the maintenance guys here to install it. Well, of course, it arrived yesterday, and it's a plug-in type thing. There's no massive electrical plumbing. You hook up a water line, which he can do. But anyhow, the refrigerator and the old ice machine, are sitting in the middle of the kitchen, and the dog is discombobulated. Ruler is discombobulated, and then all the people next door, which I think are trying to finish that house today, the deck. And it's like pound, 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 headache city around here. Anyhow, yesterday it got to me. I'm not going to let it get to me today. We do have friends here, so. Today, now that we're on today's paper, it is nothing but me cleaning out a scrap bin and adding all kinds of stuff, even some of the leftover nails. I have tons of it, but some that were just sitting here that I had pulled apart, cut apart, glued together, whatever. Otherwise, it is a lot of scrap paper going down. And I want to create the texture of the layers and layers of paper, layered on top of each other, layered kitty corner, different colors, different thicknesses, and then I'm going to put texture paste on top of that. And did I make a dent in my scrap box of little paper? Not really, but that's okay. It was still an attempt. There's a few less pieces, and it was fun and therapeutic, all of the goals that I can hope for. Here's another little thing that I brought from home, I think, filled with some paper. But there's admittedly, a lot of paper I can throw away in here because it's a lot of blank stuff. And I think it was left over from last year, actually, left here. But I used a lot of the different colors. I didn't want a lot of the same color, so I used a lot of that part up. I might go through it again and just weed out some of the stuff that are like fringe elements of other things that I've torn out, and they're plain colored paper, not anything painted or grunged up or a magazine piece or anything. I'm just going to throw away the margins that are left, which is what a lot of that is, I think. And that can be combined into whatever else is there. And I wrote something on here. I think I wrote penny for your thoughts, penny for your ideas, or something like that. I don't know what I was writing that on, why I was writing it, what it was supposed to be for. It never got used. I tore it apart. So there's a tiny bit of script on here. Oh, I could have used some of Robin McClendon's stamps. Oh, well, too late now. And just different shapes of paper, scraps, cut edges, torn edges, hole punches, half moon stuff, all kinds of things. And that is the point of this. As much as I can get down and as varied as the paper can get. I even put sticker paper on here, one of those scary stickers. I just tore it up in little pieces and used that. Shredded edges that haven't been tinted in any way. That's a magazine piece. Just all kinds of everything. The kitchen soup, the kitchen sink goes in here. The kitchen sink, this is kitchen sink paper. Everything is in here. And the more messier, the better. Here's where I cut up this. I knew I would never, ever, ever use that for what it was intended, but I'm okay cutting it and then using it for a different color, a different shape, a different thickness, the whole shebang on a kitchen sink paper. And it's fun to cut up something that I know I'll never use, a scary something. Take control of it. Take control of the scary stickers. So I did. And there's so much construction. I hope you can't hear all this. I think I'm going to close this door. Are you okay? And then the construction man here, my husband, he can't hear. As long as I don't hear a thud, I think he's okay. So anyhow, so much fun. So much fun. Then I'm like, okay, there's one of these stickers on here that I have not been able to figure out where to put it. Hobonichi is my automatic place for something that I don't know what to do with, but it still hasn't made it there either. Actually, my Hobonichi is way behind. So I used some of that PET tape. Everything has gone in here. And that is the fun of all this. It's again, therapeutic. I say this 1,000 times. This is so therapeutic. I don't know what other way to call it. I went in with a Stabilo Woody, and just kind of made lines. I even forgot I did that, actually. But then I get out the texture paste, and it needs to dry. And I like it to air dry. I have that heat gun that is super strength, but it takes forever to cool down. I might see if I can trade heat guns with my husband, because he has one kind of like the one I have that he uses every once in a while for something. But I bet you he would like a good construction grade one. And there I'm just making lines, creating tiny little peaks, tiny, just enough to kind of push back some of what's there. And then after this dries, I paint it and I push it back even more, but in the best sort of way. Love how this turns out. I have a tiny bit of film of me going over real close all the different textures and colors. And yeah, it's goopy, but it's so much fun. So much fun. Look at all this. And when it dries, it does settle a little bit when it dries, but it's still kind of lumpy, kind of messy. Several hours later, I think this is all dry. Semi. I have to kind of finish up here because we think, as always with rental property, which is rented half the year to people on summer vacations, and there's no maintenance provided while they're here, which I get. You're not on vacation. You're not looking for solutions to problems in houses. But if you see the ceiling have water stains on it, please let somebody know. We just discovered in a bathroom that we never use. There are 4 bathrooms in this house. Totally unnecessary. However, maybe at the beach in the summer, not so extravagantly crazy on the bathroom line. And I kept telling my husband, there's too much water coming out of the tray, whatever you call it, up in the attic from the air conditioner. Because our air conditioners are like, something's in the attic, something. The units are on the side of the house, but, oh, there's something, the mechanisms for the inside or something are up in the attic. And there's a tray for condensation up in the attic. Like, there's too much water coming out of the pipe, out of the attic that runs to the outside. I said, there's too much water coming out of here. Of course, I can talk sometimes till you're blue in the face and your husband's like, oh, really? Oh, okay. We walked by it again the other day. I'm like, there's too much water coming out of this tray. Look at this. Or out of the little pipe that runs outside. And he's like, that is a lot of water. I'm like, 7th time I've told you, but okay. And anyhow, and then I discovered a water stain in this other bathroom. And I'm like, there's a water stain in the bathroom. And it's on the top floor. And he's like, He said, I think I better have somebody come out here and check the air conditioner unit up in the attic. Because it might be clogged or overflowing or something. And it's not draining correctly. And that's where that water's coming from, hopefully. Because that's an easy fix. But you never know. Anyhow. So they are supposed to be coming at some point today. But, oh dear. I textured pasted my strings from another page down. Okay, so now I have all this goop stuff. Don't forget the word is E.T. Where did E.T. go? I just had E.T. Where did E.T. go? Has that ever happened to you, that you lose E.T.? Oh, here it is. This is E.T., which I'm going to cut out. But before I do that, I'm going to add another layer of color on top of this paper and texture. I want to kind of have a little bit of white border so that it stands out. E.T. stands out just a tad. This is, again, a paint swatch I painted possibly 4 years ago, but it's been floating around, as your ETs do, in a paper tray somewhere over the years, and it's finally going to get used. Okay, so now I want to add color here. I don't know what kind of color I want to add. I have too many pairs of scissors. I brought my good scissors from home. I love these scissors. They're exactly the right texture for me. They're decorated just enough. But I have another pair here that will work. And it's got a little bit of love and attention on it too. I don't know if I want to put paint. If I want to put Neocolor 2s. All of the above. There's just enough texture to make it look bumpy and to back some of the paper off. I think I really want a wash of something over this so that I don't lose all of it. which might be better with paint. Okay, let's see here. What color do I want to use? That is the question. If you hear banging, they're putting in the new floor for the deck next door. It's on the other side of this wall, practically. I think I want... These are the last bit of some metallic jelly gouache things that I had, but they're still liquidy enough because I had them in that airtight container. But I think with a lot of water, with a little help from our friends, and it's metallic and it's kind of dirty gray now. I think at one time it was white, but now it's kind of a light dirty gray. There's all kinds of paper here. Hopefully I've already told you that part. Oh, that looks pretty good. There's still some colors showing through. Enough. But it's a lot of texture. Actually, that might have been silver. But it had a bunch of different colors. Oh, there's a little bit of yellow in here. Do we add a little bit of yellow? It's my metallic yellow gold. Yeah. All right, now I'm going to, I better put this away before I forget and not leave it out and it dries out. We have some friends here in their house, her house. They're no longer they, her house. And then we're going to Charleston tomorrow to meet up with my husband's daughter. So we got a couple more busier than we normally are. All right, I'm going to turn the heat gun on. And it's very quiet, luckily. Nobody's complained about it. I've left the camera rolling a couple times. If y'all don't like it, tell me. But it's super powerful. Because it's actually a construction heat gun. Ooh! There's just enough. Oops, I better not put it next to something though. Because it does melt stuff for a while. And I don't need to catch this place on fire. Okay. Now, there's a problematic one, a problem child here. I just used glue. I did not use like matte medium. Oh gosh, that is so pretty. There's a lot of a glare on it. I'm sure for you too. However, it's kind of moody, and I think I'm just going to do a little bit of Stabilo. Small doses. As shadows, maybe. The paint's still a little wet. All right, I think the paint's still too wet. All right, I'm going to dry the paint. I'll be right back. Okay, I got a little bit too much Stabilo right there. Don't know if I can get it off. Too much shadow. Oh, that's better. Okay. There might be enough on here now that's all I want. Just gonna, oh no, I stuck my pen in here. Nice. I want it, ouch. I want it to just be enough. Just a hint of something happening. Okay, I think, I know there's a huge glare. There's a glare for me too. But with all the threads coming out, the top and the sides, it's just luscious. Luscious, luscious, luscious. On the 31st, we're going to do a final flip through. One of my T's is not right here. I had to alter this a little bit. I think I talked about it already. But this is really thick graphic plastic. Thicker than I thought. And I think what I was trying to do with it was not working. So I just put it as a tip in over this. Has nothing to do with that. It's just a resting spot. So now, here's my thread for this page. Is his eyeballs. E.T.'s eyeballs. Do I want him smack dab in the middle? No. He's trying to run away. It's going to take some manipulating for a minute here. Ah! I love it. What is tomorrow? Scarecrow. I don't know how I'm going to do that one either. All right. I think we're going to call it quits here. They're getting quite wound up over there. And I think they're going to try to, because today's Friday, so I think they're going to try to finish today. So they must have had 17 people over there. Bam, 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 bam. Nail gun galore. I'm like, look for nails out on the street. 17 people with nail guns cannot possibly yield anything but stray nails. Oh, I love, it's messy, it's grungy, it's gross. It plays well with this page, in my opinion, my humble opinion. And, oh, yes, love it. All right, thanks for watching. Unplug the heat gun, lady. Okay, I did. Don't let it touch anything for a while, because it stays hot for a while. It's not a craft gun by any means. Oh my god. It looks more, oops, I covered up the wrong thing. It looks more white there, but it really isn't. It's a metallic cloud color. It's not nearly that dark. E.T. would have metallic with him, I'm quite certain. They came with metallics, and they're going to leave with metallics. Thanks for watching. Bye.